Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of the United Gamedom podcast. This is our annual Game of the Year podcast. So it is. I am, of course, Darren. This is the Game of the Year 2017 edition of the United Gamedom podcast. And with me, once again, is my very good Canadian chum, Denis.
Hey,
D-boy. How you doing, Denis?
I'm doing pretty good. We're a little bit late on the the Game of the Year stuff this year. A lot of stuff going on.
Yes, we wanted to do this. I wanted to do this last week, but you wanted to play a certain game first, which will probably be in your top 10, I assume.
Yep, it is pretty high on my top 10 also. So
okay, so yeah, it's pretty high in my top 10 as well. Because I know what the game he's talking about. Unfortunately, if you are looking for Derek, he is not here, because he is a bit under the weather, and he just basically said to give the go ahead. So just me and Daz still, but he'll be on in another edition in the future that he'll probably do like a supplemental episode or something where he will go through his top 10. So get well soon, Derek, and I look forward to see what your top 10 is.
I know what that is. I was sick last week, so I know what that is.
Yeah, I always look forward to doing these podcasts every year just to see what games we share like a common love for, or difference in opinions and that there. Though, like, you might love a game more than I do, or like certain games that you have in your top 10 that I don't have in my top 10. So it's going to be interesting indeed. Like last year, 2017 was, like, I think it was a fantastic year for gaming.
Yep.
Like, I actually have the hard time, like this top sort of half was like, after playing a bunch, was like locked in. But then like the bottom half, a few of them was like, they can get switched about positions, or certain ones can get switched around overall and that there. But yeah, I had a hard time. Because you'll basically show, because I have a lot of honorable mentions, and a few of them could have easily been in my top 10. It was just, that was how hard it was this year for me to, finalize the top 10.
Yeah, same for me.
I'm sure you're the same way.
Yeah, difficult time to do the top 10 last night. It was kind of like the first, I would say like the first three is pretty much a lock, and have been a lock for a while now. But the rest was kind of difficult to go through. I had done all my top 10, and then I remembered a game, and I was like, oh, damn, I have to play around a little bit with the top 10. And there was a game that was there at the very, very end, but got kicked out of the top 10 for another one. And, so it was a difficult year to do a top 10 this year. So.
Yeah, it definitely was, though. Like I say, like a lot of I thought it was like one of the best years in gaming in quite some time. Some people disagree for some reason. It's like, I don't know. I thought like 2016 was great, but last year was even better. I think probably was a better, stronger first half than it was the second half.
Yeah, it was a lot of good games in the first half.
Like practically, with the exception of like one game, with the exception of say with CNA. About 2 games, I think, in my top 10. Most of all of them came out in the first half of the year.
Yeah, I think, pretty much. Well, I think it's pretty much split for me, I think, for the top 10.
Yeah. Like, I'm looking at now here, it's like, yeah, like 2 of the games in my top 10 came out after June. So they did. But anyway, we tend to sort of alternate with disappointments and all the matches year in and year out. What goes first, though? We are going to go with our disappointments this year. I don't have many. I have 3 on my list here. Because if we go through all the matches now, I have like loads of them, and it'll probably be like another hour by the time we get to our actual top 10s, because I have so many, and I kind of want to talk a bit about each one of them. Not like for 5 minutes straight now, but just talk a little bit
about
each of them, though, because some of them are very good though, and could have easily been in my top 10. So though by the end of the year, but unfortunately they did not. So anyway, go. Let's hear what your disappointments are first, Dennis. And we'll say we'll go through our disappointments. Then we'll go through our usual our 10 to 6. Then we'll go through our honorable mentions, and then 5 to 1, and then of course our most anticipated of this year.
All right.
That's usual.
Yeah, I have a little
So
like a top five list of disappointing games. It's not
go.
it's not that they're necessarily bad games. It's just that I never, got into them. I never really or it's just that I got into them, I finished them, and they weren't to the level of what I was expecting them to be. Nothing that I was like, oh my God, this is really what I expected this game to be, or what I expected it to bring to the table in this series, or whatever, So number five is Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. I played very little of this game, and I did not like it at all. I do not like the shooting in this game. The story seems to be very good, and I watched the entire story on YouTube, so I know what happens and everything. But the playing of this game, the gameplay really killed it for me, especially after Doom. Doom was so great and fantastic and a joy to play, and this was like a slog to go through.
Yeah, even though it's like different developers now, though, but like
Yeah.
like they're in properties though, and yeah, like it's in my disappointments as well. But after playing such a great game, and like Doom didn't have like the best story, but
No.
it just had the great gameplay.
Yep.
Whereas Wolfenstein 2 has the great story and the characters, but the gameplay is subpar in my opinion.
Mhm. And when Doom is more, I guess, playable to me than Wolfenstein 2 was. I got bored after a while of, I tried to play on a higher difficulty and kept getting killed constantly over and over, which is kind of boring to me, and it doesn't bring me pleasure to play through a game that I get killed over and over again. So I put it at the easiest difficulty, and then it's a cakewalk, but it becomes so boring, and so the shooting has no fun to it. It's not fun to shoot through people. When you get to New York, you have to go, to this place, and you can get lost really easily, and I don't know. It's just I didn't find this game fun at all, to be honest with you. So
Yeah, it's just the whole like everything outside the story just seems okay. Like I don't know how, because I quite liked the first game. I quite liked the New Order, and yet they make this here, and all of a sudden it's just like I don't know what happened. Like the gameplay just seems like especially like shooting. Like shooting doesn't seem so satisfying.
yeah, there's no
even if you have,
satisfaction.
it's something like in Call of Duty. There's certain satisfaction because the way you shoot people and you get that reaction, like oh, I'm definitely hitting that enemy. Whereas in this here, half the time you don't like, am I hitting that guy?
Yeah.
Because you don't get that sort of feedback. Whereas in most other games you do, but you don't get it in this here though. And sometimes I'm getting shot. Like, where am I getting shot from? And then all of a sudden, before I know it, I'm dead because you go down very quickly in this game.
Exactly. And I know people love Wolfenstein 2 and everything, but I just couldn't get into it. The story's fantastic, everything, but I just could not get into the gameplay. Another game that I couldn't get into the gameplay is Prey, which some people seem to love. I just could not get into that game at all.
I played about an hour of it there. I got it like on PS4, like pre-owned. I played about an hour or so, and I was like, I don't really have any desire to play this here.
Yeah.
So I didn't play enough of it to put it in like disappointment. So we played like an hour or so.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
played
so
minimally of it. I played like maybe halfway through, maybe a little bit more than halfway through the game. And I was like, okay, this game probably is going to pick up at some point. But it just doesn't pick up. The story is kind of bland to me. I don't find anything fun in it. Like, I love the original Prey. Like, the very first one that they did on the Xbox. I adored that game. And this one, I don't know. It's just a remake that kind of fell flat for me. It's
It's not really a remake; it's like a reboot, really,
yeah,
because
reboot.
the Virtual Prey is like completely
Yeah,
different to this one.
yeah, reboot. But yeah, it kind of really fell flat for me. There's no you always run out of bullets and you always run out of ammunition and you're scavenging for every piece of stuff that you can. A little bit like Metro, the first Metro, where you used to go around and scavenge for bullets and everything. And I really do not like those types of games. I'm not
Yeah,
saying,
it's like that there on like Last of Us and certain other games like that where you have to scavenge for like ammo and stuff like that as well. Like yeah, sometimes that's like annoying though, especially when yeah like you pretty much half the time you're running out of bullets.
hmm
Doesn't help.
and the enemies are very hard to kill, and you have to stealth your way through. It's kind of difficult a little bit, but I mean, the concept of the game, the whole thing they were going for is really good. Like what they tried to do here is great, but it just was not for me. I didn't really enjoy that game a whole lot. Didn't finish it at all. So
Yeah, I remember seeing like the trailer off at the E3, the Bethesda conference. So like the first time it showed it, and like this actually
yeah,
looks pretty cool. So it
exactly. Yeah.
does. But then like when it actually came out, though, it sort of got kind of lukewarm reviews, like feedback at best. It
hmm
was like yeah, some people's like it's all right, it's not great. Just doesn't seem to be like a
It's kind of a game that
big
went
hit
under the
now.
radar compared to other games this year. It kind of flew a
Yeah,
little bit low under the radar.
but there is people that actually do like it though,
Yeah, I
which
know.
like
Yeah.
okay, good for them. Like I only played an hour, so I can't give my full opinion on the game now. But I know some people did like it
I can
though.
see the appeal of it, but it's not for me. It's really not for me. Another game that disappointed me the hell out of me, especially after playing the first one earlier in the year. Well, the first one, the not the remake, but the first one that
Oh, I think I know what
they
this
did,
is.
Yakuza Kiwami. I do not like this game at all. I
Did you finish it?
No, I didn't.
How far did you get?
I don't even remember where I was. I think I was chapter 8 or 9.
There's like 13 chapters overall now, so there was.
Okay. But yeah, I just find compared to Zero, which was phenomenal, and you'll see later on, um, this game just does not do it for me. I know it's a remake of the first Yakuza game, and with the new engine and everything, and they added a little bit of stuff in there like the Majima Everywhere and all that stuff, and I don't know. It's There's like nothing to do. The side stories
That was
are
that was the
boring.
thing that kind of irked me after a while in Yakuza. It's actually on my honorable mentions list because I actually did like it to an extent, but that Majima Everywhere became a bit of a pain in the ass for me
Yeah.
because sometimes it's like, oh, I fought him in like one of those special ones, like go to the hostess club or something. And he's like dressed up, so fight him again, or like one of those special battles, and then oh, I beat him here now. And then 5 minutes, I just walked like up the street, and all of a sudden I'm fighting him again. It's
hmm
like I kept fighting him. I kept like fought him like several times in the space of like 20 minutes. It's like, geez, Louise, enough already. I'm getting kind of bored fighting Majima all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Even
I
though
think
there's
you
like
fought
different
him a
styles.
bunch of times on your side, right? Like,
Yeah, like I've just kept fighting him though, and like by the time you fight him in like the actual story, it's just worthless. It's just meaningless because I already fought you like 20 times already, so it's no point.
hmm
Like I didn't particularly like that Majima Everywhere thing though. Like I think it could have just been done better.
Yeah.
Like I know you can avoid him though. Like he sometimes you hear him go Kiryu-chan. Like okay, like sometimes you can see him on the thing, but other times like he might pop out of nowhere. He might pop from the cone, or he's in like down the manhole or something. And sometimes he fought this other enemy, and then he comes in then like those ones as well and stuff like that. It's like various different ways you can interrupt you now,
hmm
but and it just got really annoying after a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Compared to Zero, I mean, it's just there's nothing to do. There's no Cabaret Club or anything else, and it just I don't know. It takes away from the game to me. You know, it's the story isn't as good as Zero was, in my opinion.
Yeah, the sub stories especially, most of them are pretty forgettable.
Yep, exactly. So,
Like I did most of them though anyway, so I did, and a lot of them were forgettable.
hmm like there's nothing really there that grabbed me and made me say, yeah, I want to continue playing this game. I didn't really enjoy it at all. Um, Another game that I actually finished and was expecting a whole lot of this game because it comes from a developer that did some of my favorite games of all time. Agents of Mayhem is one game that I was expecting a whole lot from, since it's from the guys that did Saints Row, and that's one of my favorite series of all time. I was expecting it to be, like kooky and fun and, all sorts of Saints Row stuff going on, but it's really not that. It's just like cut and paste and repeat and, just go out, fight some guys, go through waves of enemies, and then get out of there. It's always the same thing over and over and over again, and it gets really boring. So
Yeah, that was a game that kind of came and went though. Like
pretty much,
I remember it only being out like a couple of weeks, and it was already like half price or something on Steam during like a sale discount or something. Like wow, that game has only been out like a couple of weeks, and already it's like half price. It's like that goes to show how bad it did.
it did really bad, especially compared to the other, the Saints Row games that did really well and were really well received and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's like I was like when I first seen it, it's like okay, this is not the new Saints Row game. Looks fun, no fun when we first saw it though. But then, like I said, the big killer for me was there was no co-op. It was like
Yep.
that got killed. That killed me for it. I was not going to get this game anymore then because of that.
Yeah, I
Like,
cannot
won't
understand
block it.
why there's no co-op in this game.
Especially since there's like so many characters you could choose from, and you switch between them. Like you choose like three or something, isn't it? And then
Yep.
you do like a mission.
Yeah.
It's like I just don't understand. Like I don't know if it was they tried to go for online or something, and like you couldn't get it working properly. Or I know like it's a game developer. I'd like to know the reasons why
I don't know what
the
they did.
online was not, and especially considering the fact that they've had their other games.
Yeah.
They had in Saints Row 2, 3, 4, and this is like pretty much like it's kind of like it's like cookie crazy, shoot, explosions everywhere,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. It's like kind of set in the universe because like there's like Ultron and stuff, all that stuff in it. Not Ultron, Ultor. Or
Altor
whatever it is.
Corporation. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It is a
Ultron.
what happens at the end of Gat Out of Hell. The universe gets split into different sections. Like one of the endings is the Saints Row universe gets split into different sections. So I guess that's the canon ending for that game.
Okay.
So Agents of Mayhem is one of the universes. I mean, you have some characters from Saints Row that are in the game. So it's there's a little bit of that in there, but it's really not enough to make it as good as the Saints Row games were. It's very repetitive, very boring to play. Even though I finished it, I just wanted to see the story through and see the ending. But yeah, it's pretty bad. It's a bad game, to be honest.
Yeah, like I said, didn't get the best feedback though.
Yep.
Didn't get. It just got pretty mixed reviews or lazy reviews at best.
Yep. And number one, I guess, would be Mass Effect Andromeda. The game that I did finish Andromeda completely, like all the stories and everything I finished. And
You played the hell out of this game. I know you put like was it 70 odd hours or something into it.
yep, I played everything that I could, like the main quest and every story side story mission and everything. Just played the hell out of the game, but there's just nothing there that's comparable even to Mass Effect 3. I mean, there's nothing really that ties you to the character. Sorry, all the characters are boring. Um, the missions are boring. Everything's repetitive. There's really nothing there that's fun to play. I mean, the gameplay is great. The shooting and everything is probably the best that there's been in this series. But the stories, the characters, um, the billions of bugs that they had with the game just takes away with from the the Mass Effect series, which was fantastic. I mean, that's everybody knows how good the Mass Effect was, especially the second game, which is a classic amongst video games, and this one is just not as good as all the others. There's no story that really grabbed me. Like you do loyalty missions, but you don't want to do them because none of the characters are likable. You don't feel attached to the characters. You don't feel that you like them. You know, it's like, oh well, why should I do this? I don't care about you. You know, I'll just do it so I can level up and get better gear or better stuff or stuff like that. But I really don't care about the characters or anything. And I don't know why I continued playing that game for 70 hours, but I did play it and finish it. And compared to everything else that Mass Effect was back in the day, this is very disappointing. It's a very disappointing game, to be honest. So that's my most disappointing of the year. I'm very disappointed that this game killed Mass Effect completely.
They killed Mass Effect.
Yeah. So this game killed
Yeah,
Mass Effect completely. That has to say
pretty
something.
much did though, because it didn't get great reviews.
Yep.
I don't think it sold very well, and it seems to be me. It seems that the case of this that wasn't up to par was because it seemed to be all their focus was on Anthem, the
Yep.
next big thing from BioWare, which will probably come out, I assume, this year or maybe next year.
It's supposed to be at the end
And
of this year, I think. Yeah. So
and then this just seemed to be get shoved to the side, like it said a lot of technical bugs, like you mentioned. It didn't look particularly very great compared to
before they patched it, it
other
was
game.
really really bad.
Yeah, just see all the various bugs, and like there's probably like loads of videos on YouTube about it though. Just it is a damn shame. Like when he actually did start this here, the first year, like we did the awards thing instead of like our top 10, and Mass Effect 3 was actually mine and Derek's most disappointed game of that year, and it was mainly because we just expected something more. But looking back on it, yeah, there was some great stuff in that game.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the way the side missions were done, whereas like you just eavesdropped on people, and all of a sudden you have to go and do this thing now. And that there was some good moments though, but I was disappointed at the end because because after just 2 was such a great game that I just wanted something better.
But this
And
is even
then
worse.
it's even worse. Yeah, exactly. It's just most people I've seen have just been very disappointed with this game.
Yep.
And like I think it's on a lot of people's disappointments list. I actually did play it. I actually played about I think about 6-7 hours of it. Because I tried the trial and it's on Origin, so it is. You have a 10-hour trial, and I played it there, and like it seemed fine.
It's
But
fine. I mean, it's a
like
fine game.
yeah, but again, yeah, like I didn't even get out of the first planet. Like I did you got to the first planet though, where after you like leave the the area of the game, and like that's where I stopped playing it though. Like I did a few things there, and that says like yeah, I liked it to an extent, but I didn't want to, like I wasn't to the extent of I'm gonna go purchase this now even if it was on sale or whatever. Like I didn't feel like buying it at that moment though, and maybe someday I'll go play it though. But hearing like you and various other people just say just like the characters are, none of the characters are great. The story's very crap compared to like, the other
Yeah,
ones in the
yeah,
series
exactly.
and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, maybe there's no point then. Like I played enough of it to see what it
There are
is, and
way
it's like,
better
yeah,
RPGs out
it's
there anyway
yeah,
that you can play right now. So,
yeah. Few of them are on my top 10
yep.
list, so they are.
So,
Um,
yeah,
it's
it's
just a shame
it's a
though,
shame.
considering how well renowned that franchise was back in the 360 PS3 era, the last generation.
Yep, so big and so, popular, and everybody loved it, and just went from being one of the most beloved to not existing anymore for the moment
Yeah,
anyway. So,
like there was supposed to be DLC, but I think it was supposed to be. I don't know if it was going to be. I think it was. I know there's going to be multiplayer DLC. I don't know if there was going to be any
yeah, it was
additional
supposed to be
single
the
player
Solarian
DLC.
arc because you don't find the Solarian arc in the main stories. Like it's arcs that come in, like with people on big ships, and they
Oh yeah, the arcs.
yeah
Yeah, right. There's supposed to be one for it,
yeah the
right?
Solarian arc, which hadn't arrived, and the game finishes
Okay.
with a teaser of, oh well, we I think we found the Solarian arc, and then it's like we should go out and see where it is and get those guys and everything, and you never do because there is not going to be any DLC for the game, so
Yeah,
Solarians are lost
like there
forever.
was supposed to be.
Hmm.
Yeah, there was supposed to be like DLC though, but then just because of how sort of bad it did though, and like it was like, yeah, we decided there's no going to be no more DLC.
Hmm.
I think people either some people, I don't know if they got laid off, some people, or they just got moved over. I think some people got laid
A bunch
off.
of them got moved over to Anthem,
Yeah,
and a
I'm
couple
not
that got
entirely
laid
sure
off.
if, yeah, I think some people got laid off, which sucks. So
Hmm.
yeah, and then that's it. Like that's, and basically it's on sort of on the shelf, probably never to
It's
return.
been a very bad year for EA. So,
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah.
And
It's the only EA game I think I played this year.
I guess I haven't played enough to say it's disappointing, but Star Wars Battlefront 2, which I played a little bit of. I haven't played a campaign, but I played some online, which is okay. I guess it's decent, but I really don't understand the whole, loot box pay to win thing that they were going to with the whole controversy and everything. It's just crazy what happened with that game. It's really insane to see, getting even mainstream media coverage everywhere. So, yeah, that killed pretty much that game for with what happened to it. So, it's not one of my most disappointing because I haven't played enough of it for me to say, oh, it's disappointing. I kind of liked what I played of it, but I haven't played the story or anything. But yeah, it's really bad what happened to a beloved series of games with Star Wars. I mean, everybody loves Star Wars, so it's too bad what they did
When
to
was the last good Star Wars game?
KOTOR. KOTOR 2, maybe.
Okay.
I think that probably was the last good Star Wars game. Well, Battlefront 1 was okay, I guess. Not great, but I guess the last great Star Wars game was probably KOTOR 2, to be honest.
Well, I'm partial to the original Battlefront games.
Yeah, of
I
course,
very
yeah.
much like them,
Hmm.
which came out after. Well, the second one came out after Knights of the Republic 2.
Okay.
And I liked the first Force Unleashed. I didn't love it though, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Um, the second one was like 4 hours I'll never get back.
Exactly. Yeah, the second one was pretty bad.
Um, yeah, just thought that one was really bad. I can't think. Like we played a bit of some of the Old Republic, which was like was pretty good though,
That's a
but
decent
not
game.
like
That's a decent game.
yeah, but wasn't enough to like get us keep going and
It's not
max level
KOTOR, for
line.
sure.
No, but it was like good.
They need to make
But in
another
terms of
KOTOR.
other than that though, I don't know. Like, I wonder what 1313 would have been like. Would have been that Star Wars game that got cancelled because of the closure visual.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. That's right.
just a shame. I think Respawn's working on a Star Wars game, I believe.
I think you are, yeah.
So, we'll just have to wait and see, though.
Yep.
It's not been a great few years for Star Wars games, so.
No. Really not.
Like EA, like Battlefront, the first one was like decent though, but it didn't have a lot of content.
Mm-hmm.
This one seems to be, there's the content though, but everything else surrounding it seems to be, whole loot box stuff and all that there just made it just
Disappointing.
just made the headlines for all the wrong reasons.
Exactly. Even Disney, if Disney has to step in and say, okay, guys, you better stop this right now because we don't want any of this in your game, in this game. So.
Yep. It just blew up it just blew out of proportion, that whole thing.
Yep. So, I guess that's
your disappointments.
Yeah, that's my disappointments. What are yours?
Okay, well, we talked about Wolfenstein 2 already, though. Like I kind of vented out what my thoughts are on that game in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it was just more disappointing on the gameplay side of things. So, like I said, the story and all that there is like great though. Like if you do want to play this game, just put it easy, play through the story, play for the story and that there. That's great stuff though. And some of the moments in it are well done. But like I said, the gameplay is just subpar, and like especially after playing certain other first-person shooters though, like Doom and Titanfall and first-person shooters like that there over the last couple of years, it just had much better shooting gameplay in it though. That this one was just a big step back though, in my personal opinion though, and hopefully. Machine gun games, they actually learn from their mistakes and sort of know, because it's not like just you and me now. There's a lot of people have had the same problems with it though. Like the shooting's not great. Like a lot of people said they put it on easy because they just felt that the actual difficulty even was too difficult even on normal, which it was in certain spots. There was a lot of difficulty spikes in that game. Same way with the first one, but this one just seemed worse. And like the indicators as well, like flipping had to have a microscope on it just to see where it was. It was just that tiny half the time. You couldn't even see where you had to go next, like because the layout of the levels were very bad, and just so many things like that now. Just very just don't know how they came across, like how they came from the New Order to this. Like hopefully when the third one comes out, because there is going to be a third one, of course, that they actually make it prove it upon it though, and hopefully learn from their mistakes. Ukulele is disappointing for me. I was very much looking forward to this game. It was a Kickstarter game. A lot of times Kickstarter games tend to be disappointing. There's actually 2 games in my top 10 that are actually Kickstarters. So there are, so it's not all bad. But yeah, Ukulele, because it's basically it's Platonic Games. These are some of the guys who are in Rare and did some of the best games from the N64. This is pretty much like a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, and it was one of the more successful video game Kickstarters. It came out April last year, and it was like, it's all right. I actually got the platinum in this game. I fully completed the game, and I was like, I did this though, but it wasn't, particularly,
fun,
great. It has its moments. That there is certain good things about it though.
Yeah.
But like most of the levels, were just like there's like 5 big worlds, and sometimes like. The sort of problem I have is they kind of went a bit more towards Banjo-Tooie than Banjo-Kazooie, because I'm one of those people who love Banjo-Kazooie, but never finished Banjo Tooie because I just felt that the levels were kind of way too big in those ones, but the thing is in Banjo Tooie was the thing I didn't like about it is because in each of the levels you had to get like these abilities, you buy these abilities, and half the time it's like, oh, I can't do this, I can't get this Jiggy because I don't have the ability, and it's not until for another 3 levels I have to go to that level and then go back in this one, and there was just way too many of them in Banjo 2 where I just couldn't be bothered finishing it. This doesn't, I don't think it has that there, but it's just most of the stuff in it's just, very just uninspired though. It's just quite boring sometimes. So, and there is like another game that's similar to it though, which I found way better than it, and it was also a Kickstarter game. It's not in my top 10 personally though, but it's a very honourable mention. I'll get to it later, A Hat in Time. It was also a Kickstarter game. It was like it got Kickstarter like with like a tenth, I think, of the budget Ukulele got, and it's easily the better game. So it is. And finally, I'm gonna say it now. I know this is probably I don't know why, because I guess even though despite the fact I haven't played it in months and it's been changed a lot since then. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
I almost put it in my disappointing.
Yeah, because we bought it because of like the streams and like
we freaking love that game.
Yeah, we just seen watching like this looks cool. It's like this. I want to buy this game, and it's like the first kind of early access game I bought. I actually bought 2 early access games this year. I bought that and Dead Cells, and I was playing this here. I was like, yes, it's fun as hell. Like it just seems very entertaining. And me and you played it for like a bit though, like my 5 to 10 hours. We played a bunch of matches together, and it's like, yeah, it seems fun. But then we never went back. And I know there's a lot of changes since then. Like the actual game's released now on the PC.
Yeah, it's official now.
On the preview. Yeah. It's on the preview still on Xbox, and that version is not supposed to be
very good,
flawless now.
Yeah,
it seems to have a lot of frame rate problems and a lot of pop-ins and stuff like that, judging from what I've seen of it. So they definitely need to get that stuff sorted before it actually is fully released on the Xbox now. But I think I think I'm more like kind of. I just don't get the whole, like, I know it was a big game this year.
It was a huge game this year.
It's a huge game that came out in 2017. Like, it's pretty much,
it broke Dota's record for most consecutive, not consecutive, but what is it? Most
most
concurrent players.
Users. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, Dota's part has been on there for like ever, and it's always like, oh, it's always Dota. Dota's always the top thing, and then for a game like this to come along, early access as well, to come and sort of beat that there, take over Dota, it's like that's a big thing. But like I said, we never went back to it though. It just never quite got our hooks as much as like say another game we loved last year, the year before, Overwatch.
That I keep playing constantly.
I haven't played them. I haven't played in months, so I do want to go. Like there is certain weekends, like when I'm off, like I want to go back to this, though, but it's never go around and do play it though. But yeah, it just never quite got. This never quite clicked.
There's one thing about for me for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I know if we go back now and play it, we'll totally get destroyed. That's for sure. Like we'll get destroyed in no time flat because people have been playing this game nonstop for months and months and months. And they probably know the maps by heart, and they know where to go, and they know where to get the guns, and they know where to, So you go. It's like if you stop playing Call of Duty and you go back in, you're gonna get destroyed, pretty easily. So
like if I go back to Overwatch now, I'm gonna be probably really shit compared to
I don't know. Overwatch takes
being
it
okay.
probably takes a couple of games to get back in, but in no time flat, you'll get your Symmetra or somebody, and you'll get used to what you used to do and everything. But
Yeah,
this one I think would be a little harder because we hardly played that game compared to my I don't know how many hours I played of Overwatch. So
yeah, exactly. Though, like we said, we probably played maybe about 5 to 10
yeah.
matches, maybe a bit more.
Hmm.
Like it wasn't a whole lot. Like we just sort of got because of like people like watching videos of the game because I think Jam Bomb started their series on it though,
Yeah.
and I think we watched it there.
I watched the Waypoint
Yeah, I think it
one.
was. I think it was. Yeah, yeah. I was just watching that. So I was like, yeah, we like we say we had a podcast talking about are we going to get this game or not? And I think afterwards we
Right
did
after it,
bet.
yeah.
Yeah. And then like the next episode we did talk about it a bit, and then that was practically it though. We just never touched it. We never
Yep, never
talked
talked
about it
about
or
it, never
played it
touched it again.
since. Yeah. It's like yeah, that's kind of
Another thing that I don't enjoy is that now everybody plays it. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's on that PlayerUnknown's bandwagon and everybody plays it, everybody loves it. And the whole giant bomb thing of this is our game of the year. This is the biggest game of the year. Really? I mean, you're gonna pick this over Zelda, over Mario, over countless other games. You're going to pick this game as your game of the year.
it's basically the fact again. This like people have mentioned it on in their comments about this here. The fact of the matter is they played so much of it on stream
Hmm.
and it was such a integral feature on their site for a lot of
Yeah,
months. And that was the same way with Hitman the previous
yeah.
year. It was such an integral thing in their for like a month's on
I
end.
didn't mind for
Every
Hitman
time
because
a new
Hitman was an
episode.
official released game. This was a game that was in preview, and when they recorded their thing, it wasn't even out yet. And they
Yeah,
didn't even know it was
but
coming out.
they went. But the thing is, what they went to the assumption that that this did state that it will be out in December. It will be out by the end of the year.
Hmm.
But that was the thing, though, is they recorded that though, and what would happen if it did get delayed? Oh, I'm sorry, it's not going to be released now until 2018.
Hmm.
Then there would have been hell to fucking
And the
pay.
whole thing that pisses me off about the whole them choosing that as their game of the year is when Alex was talking about Fire Pro. Jeff just shut him down completely, saying we're not going to put this game here because it's not released officially, and we're not going to talk about it. And
Yeah, it was what was the best surprise,
yeah,
wasn't it, I believe?
exactly.
Yeah, and yeah, he was talking about it, and like, yeah, they were saying about, oh, it's not officially sort of thing, no, it's not actually out yet, so no, it's a scene, that just seemed to be, it's just, oh, just this it then, oh, it's not out though, just so, never mind.
Yeah,
I like, yeah, that does seem to be the case. So, despite the fact they give it to a game that was early access at the
yeah,
time,
exactly,
and they were very fucking lucky though that it did come out
exactly.
the 20th of December. It did come out then at the end of the year though,
Yeah.
but by the time when they were doing that stuff, it wasn't.
Hmm.
I noticed that was the only game they had out of early access. So
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I don't know that whole thing kind of soured me on that game. I know it's not the game's fault at all. I know that, but the whole concept of that, the whole thing that they did there, and everybody jumping on the bandwagon, and everybody that just sours me on that game completely.
I wasn't like everyone on it though loved it though. Like I'll be if I haven't listened to everything
Yeah,
actually.
me neither.
I'm currently on day 4 though, but you can hear from her and
Yeah.
Ben. They were the ones who like she pretty much doesn't like
Yep.
it. She
Exactly.
said it numerous times. She doesn't like it though, and Ben was like kind of on her side as well. Like he's not particularly like huge on it either though. But
Same
it seemed to
for
be everyone else. Jason I think
Jason.
as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, but I think everyone else there seemed to be big proprietors of it, they just seem to love it though. It was just such a big thing. It just came out of nowhere. It's like it's a fully official sort of game based on a mod that has sort of been around for a while now, but this is an actual properly officially released game in that genre. And pretty much everyone seems to be jumping on the bandwagon now that Fortnite had to add a battle royale mode. Paladins, which is like the free to play Overwatch, had to add a battle royale mode. And I am not going to be surprised if this year the
battle royale becomes a whole fucking thing.
Yeah, there's going to be a whole big thing now that every game, like every sort of big multiplayer game, is going to have their own sort of battle royale mode.
Of course.
And then by the time this year ends, they're like, oh, I'm getting sick to fucking death though. Yeah.
And then Giant Bomb's going to be like, oh, they're going to put it on their most please stop thing, and it's going to be
please stop thing, battle royale, battle royale genre.
Exactly. So I mean, I don't know. To me, it's hypocrite. They're being hypocrites about the whole thing, and I don't really like that at all. So the game's fine.
Yeah, when I was seeing it on their lists during some of their categories, is okay. I can add them here now, but please pretend they're not going to have a best game. And then I did look at the best game. It was like flicking through it. Okay, I looked at the end and seen the list of it. I kind of had. It was like, you got to be kidding me, really? Number one. I thought it's not going to be included in here because it's an early access game, and it was an early access game when they recorded that. But it seemed like they were under the assumption. Like I don't know if that was like when I last heard it though, I assumed that they were not going to have early access games in there, like best game, their top 10. No, but I don't know if they changed their mind. Like, cause I don't listen to the Bombcast now, but I assume they're under the assumption that it's not going to be counted because it was an early access game at the time. But I think they went with it's just like I said earlier. It went the assumption. It's going to be. We were told that it's going to be out by the end of the year. It's going to be out in December, so we're just going to count it here anyway. Knowing for the fact that it could have been delayed.
Exactly.
Games get delayed all the time.
Yep.
So.
Anyway, we're deviating from the whole thing.
Yeah, it just seemed to get a pass, whereas a lot of games didn't.
Yeah. They put this game on a pedestal when, games like Super Mario Odyssey, Zelda, Nier, all those games that were huge that people loved, didn't get the recollection that they didn't get the whole package like this game got, and it kind of pissed me off. So I know it's just a website and everything and whatever, but I don't know.
Yeah, like GameSpot basically said flat out, we're not going to have Battlegrounds on our
on
our top 10. They basically said, and this is the reason why.
That's perfect.
And I think IGN was the same way. I don't think they had it in theirs. And I think most other places, well, Game Awards had it. Some people were a bit miffed at that. I was like, okay, sure, but like a lot of people follow Giant Bomb. And I was like, it's like the only one of the ones I follow.
Yeah, Waypoint. Does Waypoint have it?
I do not know.
Patrick put it on his number one game.
Yeah, and I think Austin did as well. Yeah, I don't mind in personal.
Yeah, personal. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Like Dead Cells was Jason's number one on his. He played a shit ton of it. I was like, oh yeah, fine. On your personal though, no problem. But in like a sort of official, quote unquote, your top 10 on the site, to have a game like that on your number one is like okay.
Yeah.
Like I can understand. Like it was an integral part of your site for a lot of months. So, but again, it was a.
Do you think that's the reason why they put it number one?
Yeah.
Like okay, well.
That's a reason I do think. They do kind of talk about it there. They do mention it there during some of their discussions during the categories it's in. They kind of do talk about, we played this game before months on the thing. I do think that's a reason.
Like if we would have played 100 hours of that game, maybe we would have put it on our personal number ones. I don't know, but
yeah,
it
was like Hitman as well last year. Look, like Hitman, like watching it there, like
Hitman was a full game. It was,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
just it was an episodic game though,
yeah.
but like that was such an integral part of the site as well.
Hmm.
And the year before it, there were Super Mario
Yep.
Maker one game of the
Hmm.
year. Despite the fact, when listening to it, it just seemed to be that two people were very passionate about it, and everyone was like, just fucking give it to them.
Yeah, exactly.
It just seemed to be Jeff and Dan on Super Mario Maker's side, and everyone else was kind of indifferent and wanted Metal Gear Solid. Yet it
Yeah, I
won.
can't believe
And I
Dan
think
didn't fight more
because
for Mario and Zelda to be Game of the
yeah,
Year.
and just because of the whole thing where they did the jam bomb, the jam bomb levels, and like the whole thing with Patrick and Dan again,
Hmm.
sort of stream social
Yeah,
stuff
what's going to be the Giant
game.
Bomb game this year?
Yeah, it's going to be the game that's sort of going to be integral to their site because that's seemed to be the case for the last 3 years
Hmm.
now, where it's like I can understand it though,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Well, uh,
I just don't know though. I just think that you should have had something better
yeah.
though. Like personally, like I would have loved to see near number one
Hmm.
more than it.
I want to play Nier so
Um,
bad, but this is just I want to give that game a try. Everybody loves that game and all that, so I really want to give it a try. But $80 is kind of expensive for that game. I know it's a very long game, and you can replay it like 4 times, but I don't know,
it's like three
3
times really,
times.
and then you
Okay.
just have to and then it's like the last. Yeah, it's like three playthroughs. They're not all the same.
Hmm.
And then it's like you do these last few. You do like another ending, and then
I
you do
really want to
another
play
thing.
that
And
game,
it's like
to be honest.
that's what it is. Yeah.
So
But yeah, we're going a bit of a tangent
yeah,
here.
we're sorry about that, but yeah.
Sorry about that, but jeez, I didn't expect that to go on too long about Player Unknown Battlegrounds. Now
Yeah,
it's like, jeez, I went a bit of a tirade about that
yeah.
game.
I guess,
I could definitely understand the appeal though. Like watching
of
some of the
course,
stuff is
yeah.
very cool and all that. There, it just didn't quite click with me though personally as much as other
Yeah, I have a
multiplayer
friend who
games did
streams
in
every
previous
day,
years.
all day, and pretty much, 2 or 3 hours a night. He plays Battlegrounds every day with a bunch of guys. It could be super fun with a bunch of guys. I know how that
Yeah,
is. It could be really, really fun,
yeah.
I'm sure.
I just a bit more sort of kind of bit disappointed with the way Jam Bomb went with
Hmm.
it. Like sure, like they played a lot of it though, but again, it's the whole
The way they went
sort of
with
like
it,
it's
I don't know. Yeah.
yeah, it's their opinion and all that there. Like I don't
Nothing
necessarily
against the
agree with
game
it though, but
itself, but yeah.
yeah, I just don't say like it sort of got a pass where heck something like Dead Cells, which seemed to be a pretty feature nearly complete game as well, but it didn't get like like other early access games. It was an early access like Fire Pro Wrestling,
Hmm.
like you mentioned earlier.
Hmm.
That seems to be a game that's pretty complete,
Exactly. Yeah.
and it actually came out before
Yep.
Battlegrounds came out
Hmm.
officially, fully launched.
Yeah.
Granted, it was like a couple of days, but it did come
Yep.
out beforehand.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Anyway,
Okay,
let's
dokie.
get to the top 10.
Moving on. Let's get to our top 10 now. Jeez. An hour fucking in. This is going to be a
It's gonna be a
fucking
long
6 hour
one.
podcast at this rate. So anyway, let's get into our top 10. So, Dennis, what is your number 10?
All right, so my number 10, I was flip-flopping a lot for my number 10 between 2 games, which one of them I will mention when we talk about the honorable mentions. But the game that came in at number 10 for me is Cook Serve Delicious 2, which I played a whole lot of couple of weeks past. That's the game that I completely forgot about. Like I was going through the games that I played,
Oh,
and I
right.
completely forgot about this game. And I was like, "Oh man, this game's so great!" And, I have to add it to the top 10. So what's great about Cook Serve Delicious 2 is that they really refined the base game. Like in the base game, you had your restaurant, and you were trying to you know become a bigger restaurant each and every day that passed. You tried to become bigger and bigger. This time you have your own restaurant, but you start off like level 1. You don't have anything. You have like 1 or 2 foods to cook. So what you have to do is you have to go cook for other restaurants in a building. So you have to go prepare some food for other restaurants. One is going to be like a hot dog stand. Another one's going to be Chinese food. Um, Another one's going to be Italian, stuff like that. So you have to go around and do that. And the better you do, the more stuff you get. Like you get loot crates in this also. There's loot crates in this game now. So you get loot crates, and in those loot crates you'll have like different stuff to rearrange your restaurants, different dining tables, different counters, you know, all sorts of stuff. And once you level up, you get a new food that you can add to your restaurant. So you'll get, let's say, spaghetti, or you'll get some chicken wings or stuff like that that you can add to your restaurant, and then you can build your restaurant from there. But you go through uh, the entire building doing odd jobs for different restaurants, which I really, really enjoy. I really love the whole hectic part of this game. Like it gets really, really crazy at one point. The more, restaurants you unlock, the harder the food is to prepare. Like you'll get some really, really difficult food to prepare at one point, and there's a lot of people that wait at the counter, and you have to go really, really fast and do all that stuff as quickly as you can. I play with mouse and keyboard. I don't play with a controller. You can play with a controller now, which some people seem to find easier. I know Dan Reichert plays with the controller a whole lot. I tried it. I don't really enjoy playing with the controller. I'd rather play with the mouse.
They never added controller support for the first game now, did
No,
they?
they didn't have it. So
Okay.
with this one, I think it's coming to consoles, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why there's controller support in it. But they added that into the game, so you can play with your controller. And it's just a fun little quirky, independent game that that you can play, and it's really, really fun. I really love that game a whole lot. Um, Ryan Davis gets an honorable mention in the credits because he's the one who completely launched their career when he played the game on a giant bomb, the first one, and they did a hamburger in his memory, the Ryan Davis that you can prepare, which is cool. Um, but yeah, I really, really love this game a whole lot. It's not very expensive on Steam. I wanted to get it for you for the holidays. I wanted you to try it out, but I didn't get it for you. Finally, I got a Life is Strange instead. But yeah, it's I really love that game a whole lot. So it's my number 10 favorite of the year. I recommend you
I
give it a
played
shot.
I played the demo of the first one now, so I did a few years back
Hmm.
now. But I just never picked it up now. I'll probably pick this one up though anyway and just see how it is. I know I remember seeing what it looked like though, and remember playing the demo. I was like, I enjoyed this. Though, but like I said, I never got around to actually purchasing the game. Then I know it looks fun to play though.
Yeah,
Anyway,
second
from
one
what
is
I've
more
seen of it.
complete. And there's more like stuff to do, and the progression and everything. It's like it's a more complete game than the first one was. So I really like it. I recommend it to everybody. Give it a try. Not much more to say because
Okay.
it's really like basic food
Yeah, just
preparation.
basic, simple. Yeah.
So
Okay. Right. My number 10
yeah.
is going to be very interesting
Hmm.
indeed. This was actually my most anticipated game of last year,
Hmm.
and it just made the top 10.
Wow.
Actually, this was actually higher on my list, but then looking back and thinking of it, it's like, yeah, I liked certain other games on my list more, and I liked them kind of more, a lot quicker than I did this one.
Hmm.
That is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Hmm.
I did end up very much liking this game,
Hmm.
but it did take its time. It took probably about 20, 30 hours before I actually really got into this game, and then there was actually a thing that the fact of the matter is, this came out the same week as Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
It came out a few days afterwards. Horizon came out like the Wednesday, and this came out the Friday. And I was playing them at side by side, first of all. Then I realised, there's no point playing 2 open world games at the same time. You're just going to get yourself really burnt out. Even though like they play differently and stuff like that, they're still at the end of the day 2 open world games, and they have their similarities. So I just focused on Horizon, finished it. You will see it on my list later. I'm just basically saying that right now. And I left this game aside for 4 months. And then eventually I did come back to it. And then I played it for a lot of weeks, and then I finished
So
it.
Horizon was the better Zelda this year.
In my personal opinion, it was a better open world game. Now, when I was looking at it though, when I was playing it though, and then sort of just dropped it, and like seeing people going on about it, like, oh, this is the way open world games should be from now on. This is the way. This like all this just overwhelming praise this game has got though. This is like the best open world game ever, and like I'm looking at it, it's like, I don't get that. I don't get the whole praise of it.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to say it now. It is a very well made game. It is a very good game. It is a brilliant game. Well done. It's like for Nintendo to actually go and actually make a fully proper open world Zelda game, very much different to what they've done previously. Like this one is a proper open world game where you can go anywhere you want. You can tackle stuff any sort of any way you want it to. You can do stuff in any order. There's so many shrines to do. There's just there's various different side quests to do. There's like the main quest and stuff like that there. And like if you're very, very good at the game, you can probably go and finish the game in like a matter of minutes. You can just go straight to the castle and fight Ganon if you can, if you want.
If you can, yeah.
And stuff like that.
Rather.
Yeah. But you have to be very much a lead in that game. But I just like at first I didn't see but I can see it in a way now, but I still don't love it as much as other people do though. I just find it to be a very well made game. But I do love exploring the world, because that was one of the things people loved about it as well. I can see that. It's just a very beautiful, lovely world to explore, and you don't know what you're going to come across. There's just so many different things, and just certain different little wee touches they made as well. Like it's just like how come other open world games don't do this? Like, you know, the whole thing with the lightning.
Yep.
Like if you're wearing anything metal,
and
it happens to lightning, you're going to
I
get
remember
struck
that.
by it.
Yes.
Like that's a cool thing though. And when this game came out, you've seen a lot of people like show various different things they did. Whereas, for example, someone like you chop down a log, and then you do like one of the things you just like hit one of your powers, you hit the log, like freeze it, stasis, and then go on the log, and all of a sudden when stasis goes out, it goes
flying away,
fly through the air and stuff like that. Yeah, like stuff like that's pretty cool, and like a lot of people, you know, came across that stuff on their own and just want to share it with other people. Like that was one of the things I do like about this. So like everyone shared their own experiences about this game, because it's just a game like that a lot of people like to share their experience with. It's like loved sharing it with everyone. Like I can definitely vouch that.
Yep.
But like I said, I did really liking it though, but it took a while, because I wasn't such a big fan, and to an extent I'm still not such a big fan of the durability.
Yeah.
Like
the weapons and everything, that break down.
Yeah, the weapons and durability.
I did not like that.
And also like the whole the only way that you can actually increase your inventory size, well, like except for your materials, you can pretty much, it seems to be, you can pick up an endless amount of materials now. Your fruit and your food and your monster bits and stuff like that there, but you need to come around and get Korok seeds in order to increase your inventory size for your bow and arrows, your shields and your swords now. And the thing is, well, you come across, I forget the name of the character, you come across him though when you're going to Kakariko Village, I always pronounce it Cargo Village. That's the way I
Kakariko.
always pronounced it. Yeah. You come across them in that there, and then all of a sudden, okay, you might find a bunch of peroxide by that time. You give it to them, and then you crease whatever you want to crease. And then the thing is, like, if you want to find him again, it's quite a ways away. It's like in the middle of the the forest, which is near where the Master Sword is. And like, people say, "Oh, the Master Sword is in this game. Oh, I can go get it now if I want to." But no, that's one of the things as well about this game is like, it kind of has a barrier. It's like, oh, you can't just go and get the sword straight away though, because it doesn't make the game piss easy for you. You have to have at least 13 hearts, and proper hearts now, not like the additional hearts you do by cooking and eating food that gives you like the additional yellow hearts. You have to have 13 proper hearts in order to take it from the pedestal. And like I did that eventually though, and it runs out though. It doesn't break, but it runs out of its charge. Like, it runs out of its charge, and then you have to wait for it to charge again before you can use it again. So, but that was great though as well. I just made that sort of part afterwards, like the game, like bit more tolerable then. But it was not like you like run out of weapons. Like, oh my god, no weapons left. Like, you come across weapons very regularly though, but a lot of them tend to break within a matter of moments. Like, a lot of them are shit. And sometimes you have a strong weapon, you might come across a strong enemy, you kill that enemy, and all of a sudden, oh, this weapon's just about to break now, and I only fought the one enemy. That sucks. Like, that their durability thing kinda, I did get used to it though, but at the start I was like, I'm not too much fussed in this. Now, I do like the shrines. I do like the fact that they're pretty much like puzzle, just like a puzzle, like each of them are like puzzle rooms, or if it's like a combat one though, if you face against those like weak guardians. But I much prefer the actual proper dungeons in a Zelda game. Like, the Divine Beasts are like, they're pretty much like the quote unquote dungeons in this game. And while they're alright though, I very much prefer the proper dungeons from Zelda games in the past now. And they just, because they just look the same inside, they just had that whole like aesthetic. All of them just look the same, and that's kind of worse. If you're in previous Zelda games, each of the dungeons look different enough, whereas they didn't look too much different here. But it's just like the whole exploration thing about this game. I loved exploring and doing like the certain other quests, and what, like I say, don't know what you're gonna come across. On that there as well. I did like Hyrule Castle. Like, that is actually kind of a dungeon. That's like the one sort of kind of proper dungeon in the game though. Even though it's not like puzzles though, but it's like the one sort of dungeon. It's like, feels like it's like a lot of cool rooms. Like, you don't need to explore everywhere though, but you can. There are certain points like, I have to get here. You have to go this way to get to this point and stuff like that. Now, like, I did enjoy that. I very much like the battles, the boss battles against like the various versions of Calamity Ganon, and then the final Ganon himself and stuff like that. And like, there is a story, but if you want to sort of learn the whole backstory, then you have to go around. There's these different areas in the game. Like, if you go to Cargo Village and you talk to Impa, she gives you these like memory things. You have to go to this area in this map to uncover this memory, and then you get this cutscene that involves Zelda or one of the the 4 champions, that are like they're long gone now. They were like killed during like the 100 years since the calamity happened, and then you get their like spirits or like powers or whatever once you do each of the divine beasts now, and then you go on to like face Calamity Ganon. That's the way it is though. But like I said, a lot of people spent hours and hours and hours in this game. I spent 60 odd hours in this game. I have no desire to go back. I heard the second DLC is pretty good, but again, I felt that I put 60 hours in this game. I enjoyed it at the
Hmm.
end. This game, like I said, this game was very like this game could have been taken off, but at the end of the day, I liked it enough, despite the troublesome start. But I did like it enough at the end of the day. So that's why it's my number 10. It's pretty low on the list. It was hard though, but I came to realize I like other games on my list more, so this is at the bottom. And I rambled on for like 20 minutes about a game that I was like, oh, it's fine.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, you didn't do any of the Divine Beasts now, did you?
I was at the first one, but I didn't do it. I just stopped playing. I don't know why. I was probably playing something else, but I really need to go back to that game for sure because it is a really good game, to be honest. I just need to go back and finish it, finish it up.
Yeah, it's definitely worth playing through though. Like, it is a great game though. Like, I commend Nintendo for it though. It's a well made game out there. Like I said, I just thought I would love it as much as other people
Hmm.
did. Like I said, it was my most anticipated game of last year though, and like if I played it there and then dropped it, and then if I actually never went back to
Hmm.
it, after like in March though, it probably would have ended up being on my
Yeah.
disappointments, because like that first 15 hours of it I played, I wasn't blown away by it. I was like, I'm not loving this,
Hmm.
but it eventually did end up really like loving it though,
Yeah.
but not to the extent of other people did.
It's in my the honorable mentions, but not my top 10, sadly.
Yeah, yeah, you didn't play like enough of it.
Yeah, I
I
didn't play
said
enough
to
for it.
probably
Yeah.
warrant the top 10 position. Yeah, like you didn't like you probably still played a good chunk of it though, but didn't do any of the divine base, or like you didn't like fully complete it now. Like
Yeah.
didn't get to the end of the story
Hmm.
now.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what is your number 9?
My number 9 is a fighting game actually. That came out this year that I played the hell out of, and well, the story mode, of course, and I played a little bit of online also. It's Injustice 2. Um, I loved the first Injustice, and this is like the continuation of the story, where Superman is a bad guy and Batman is fighting him and all sorts of stuff like that. So this is the continuation of that, and I get more heroes like Supergirl comes in and other other new heroes added to the mix. Um, and what's really cool about this Injustice is that you get as pretty much every game this year, I think you get some loot boxes and you get some equipment that you can put on your heroes that'll give them more, dexterity, more power, more, and it's not only cosmetic, it is also it adds to the player, to the character that you're playing as. Um, there are some really nice costumes that you can unlock, like a black Superman, and all sorts of crazy costumes for all the heroes in the game. And I thought the story was really, really good. I really liked the way the story ended.
Is it better than the first one
It's better than the first one.
in terms
Yeah,
of in terms of story? Yeah, I thought the first one was like decent though, but I wasn't like blown away by it.
yeah. This one is better story wise than the first one was. It can end
Okay.
in two different ways depending on how who you choose to help and who you choose to save. At the very
Okay.
end, there's two different endings. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed this game a whole lot. Played some of it online also, and I wasn't too bad because I think I can be not too bad in this game fighting wise. But at the very beginning, when I went online, I was all right. But the more and more the days went by, And I went back online. I got my ass handed to me because people probably
Yeah, because people learn how to do the various combos from certain characters, and you like can't get a hit in.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I didn't go too much online after that. So the game kind of went to the wayside. I kind of wanted to re-download it and try it now that I have a 4K TV because this game does do HDR apparently. So I kind of want to see what
Okay.
it looks like in 4K and see. It was already a gorgeous game in regular HD, so I can't imagine how nice it looks in 4K.
How long does it take you to download a game on your PS4, like Pro,
It's the
like
same
in
thing.
terms of
It's
a game like that? Like how long? Like say it's like a 40, 50 gig game. How long will that actually take for you to download on your
the other
PS4?
day I downloaded Fallout 4 because I wanted to play that game again. So I downloaded it on PS4. It took me, I'd say 45 minutes, maybe, and that's a
Okay.
50 gig game.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, it takes a little while. I mean, it's on my computer. It's not very
Jeez,
long.
I wish I. Jeez, wish I can get that speed on the PS4.
Yeah, I mean, it's all server side, and PS4 kind of
Hmm.
fluctuates their download speeds depending on how many people are downloading and stuff like that. But it's the same thing a Pro as a regular PS4. There's not really any difference in the download stuff. There's more space, of course, on the Pro, but there's it's nothing really changes in the download speed or anything. So yeah, and Justice 2, very enjoyable. Uh, some people didn't really like the whole loot aspect of the game, like the whole you need this loot to be better and this loot to. Some people thought it didn't do enough of anything to really be a factor, but I didn't really mind it. I thought it was a fun little aspect of the game. I mean, it's not Overwatch loot or anything like that, but it was still, fun little aspect of the game. And I really like the Injustice series, the Mortal Kombat series, so I enjoyed this game a whole lot. Uh,
I still need to play it though. I loved Mortal Kombat, the last generation
mhm,
one that came out. Justice, I was like, I liked it to an extent though. Mortal Kombat X, I was a bit disappointed with though.
mhm.
So I just didn't decide to pick this up though. But I'm sure I can probably get it cheap.
Yeah, it's probably on sale now.
Um,
Cheaper than it was, that's for sure.
yeah, because I think it came out in May. I think last
Hmm.
year. I think it was May or June. So it was
I think I
last
saw
year.
it for
So
$15 during the sale, so the holiday sale.
yeah,
So,
I actually didn't really get a whole lot of stuff though during the Steam
hmm
sale.
what I mean on the PS4, it was $15.
All right.
I don't think it's on
Yeah,
PC
but
yet. I don't. I haven't seen it.
no, it isn't
It
PC.
is? Okay.
Yeah, it would be in PC. Yeah, but yeah, you have it in PS4, do you?
Yeah, I have it on PS4.
Yeah, so maybe I might get someday and we can play each other online,
Yeah,
perhaps. If it actually doesn't be region locked like the last one was.
yeah, that's right. I don't think they do that anymore. I hope they don't anyway. But yeah, it's worth a try if you like DC and that universe. It's definitely worth a shot. It's really good. It's pretty much a direct sequel to the first game, so yep, it's a good game. Not really much more to say about it, but yeah, I enjoyed it a bunch.
No worries. My number 9 is a game that came out pretty early last year, so it did. I think it was my second purchase of 2017 in terms of new releases, if I can recall. I
It's an
could
early
be
one.
wrong. Yes, it came out in February last year.
Hmm.
I played it beforehand though as well because this is a game that came out in had three different sort of beta
Hmm.
phases. Um, and it eventually did come out last February. It is Neo,
Mm.
the Team Ninja Dark Souls clone, I
Yeah.
guess, in a certain way, but it's not entirely like Dark Souls. It has its similarities, of course, but in our ways, it's very much different. Um, I don't think I'm going to talk too long about this game because I actually can't recall I talked to fucking death about this game on the podcast earlier this year, and you were probably sleeping by the end of it. So if you want to get me my really detailed thoughts on that game, listen to that episode. I think it's episode 70. Um, but it's gonna sort of go on a bit brief here. This is probably the best game, sort of like similar to Dark Souls, I've played outside of the Souls series. Like I tried other games like Lords of the Fallen and that there. This didn't click with me. Oh, actually, maybe Salt. In terms of actual 3D one, Salt and Sanctuary is actually probably the best one actually, but that's a 2D one. But this is like a very great, combat, very combat focused game. Though you play as William, and the samurai who goes to Japan, and you fight all these different sort of humans and oni demons, and just go through feudal Japan. The way this is different from Dark Souls is this is not like a kind of open world, connected world. Is like each of the you do each level in mission style. You go through different missions. So you do, then you actually, and then you each at the end of each mission you fight a boss. And some of the bosses are pretty easy. Some of them are pretty hard. Um, it's a lot faster than your typical Dark Souls game though. And the thing I like about it is like there's like different stances as well. Like you have like your low stance, your mid stance, and your high stance. And you might do more damage with your high stance though, but you're like more open to attack. Your low stance is more quick though, but you're not doing as much damage, and your mid stance is kind of like your average though. And you have various different weapons like your katanas, you have your like big axes, your hammers, and also the kusanagis. Like you have the ball and chain thing. I think it's kusanagari. I forget what it's exactly what it's called. And like you say, you just go through feudal Japan, fighting all these different demons. So some of them look. One of the things probably is not great about this game as opposed to sort of like Dark Souls is the enemy variety is not as big though. Like you do tend to fight some of the same enemies a lot though. You might fight harder versions of them later on, but they're pretty much you fight a lot of the same enemies over and over again. Even like might find an enemy in the first mission, and then you might find that said enemy in the final mission of the game. But I very much did really like this game though. The way it works is pretty weird though. It's not like some seamless. You have to like use one of these Ochoko cups to connect online. You have to do it from like the menu and that there. And the thing is, well, in order to exit a mission, you have to use another item, which I didn't like. um, each of the sort of missions has a bunch of these shrines as well. Like they're kind of like the bonfires, you can say, um for this game. And you fight these little wee kodamas, these little wee green little dudes, and you can increase your increase your drop rate for weapons, increase your drop rate for elixirs, you can increase and stuff like that there now. And it's just very well made overall though, and very much enjoyed the game. Like I said, I go way much more detail in the episode 70. So but Neo is a very great game, so definitely pick it up now. It had a lot of DLC. I got the DLC there. I got the season pass when it was on sale there a few months ago. I played like the first mission of it. I got to the boss and I'm pretty much under level because that boss pretty much kills me in like one hit. So I was like, nope. I tried it again and again. I tried to fight it, but no, it was like I can hit it a bit, and then boom, you can hit me hit one hit, or maybe twice. Sometimes I can get it. You can get, and I can survive one hit though, but if he just hits me again afterwards, I'm dead. So I like to go back to it, but I need to level up a lot in order to actually beat the boss. I heard the DLCs, I like to try it though because I very much like this game. Just it's an excellent action game though, and it's like done by the same guys that did Ninja Gaiden though, and
It's as
it's
hard
a
as that is.
no. I'd say Ninja Gaiden's actually harder than this. A lot of people consider this to be harder than Dark Souls. Um, I don't think it's the case though. It just depends on how like there are certain areas. Like I find certain areas of this game to be easy enough though. It's just sometimes when you get to a boss, it was pretty tricky.
Hmm.
Although there was a certain area at the last art, like the last proper mission of the game now, where it was a bit of a roadblock. It took me a while to do, but eventually did. But yeah, it's a very good action game, and that's my number 9. This was actually high on my list though, like around like the second before, like around the second half of the
Hmm.
year. But like other games came out,
Yep.
certain other games came out, and like looking at, it, I was like, yeah, I like certain other games more. But yeah, it's still a great game. Neo.
Cool. That's good.
You have no interest in playing this game, do
No.
you?
Nope.
Yeah, you tried your hand in a few Souls
Yeah.
games, and you're just like, yeah, just they're not for me.
No, not really. Not my cup of tea.
Too bad. Yeah, I was just hoping it'll be like you with Derek now. Like he played Demon Soul. I think he played Dark Souls. He just said when it first came out he hated
Yeah.
it. Then it was like watching the Load Our Last Souls with Vinny. He sort of went back to it, and then I went back to it, and we sort of, he kind of fell in love with it there. Then,
Hmm.
and he's been a fan ever since.
Yeah, I know you guys love those games.
I'm sure this will be in his top 10 now,
Yeah.
because I know he very much liked this game as
Hmm.
well. I'll be surprised if it isn't. So go ahead, Dennis. What is your number 8?
All right, so my number 8 is a sports game uh, that I played a pretty huge chunk of this year. It's Everybody's Golf, which is pretty much Hot Shots Golf. Everybody's Golf is what it was called in Japan, and now they're calling it that here now. They're not calling it Hot Shots anymore. Um, I really love the Hot Shots series of games. I used to have, I think it's Hot Shots 2 or 3 on the PS2 back in the day. And me and my dad used to compete against each other in that game a bunch. And he was really good at that game, way better than I was. And those are the memories I have of that game. So when this one was announced, I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna give this game a shot for sure. I'm always up for a good game of golf." So
I think there was that one out for the PS3 now, wasn't there?
yeah, there was. I didn't play it, but I think it only came out in Japan. I don't think it came out here. I think there was one for the
I think there
Vita
was one.
that came out
There was
here.
one for the Vita
Yeah.
now, and I think there was one for the PSP as well. I think there was one for the PS3. I'll just check here.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I got the game, and it's customize your golfer. You create. There's a lot of options to create your own golfer. So you create your character, and then you go into a hub world where you can do well, not a whole lot of stuff, but you can talk to people and stuff, and you can see other people's creations and other golfers around there. And then you play some golf. You play some rounds of golf until you hit a certain level. Then you play against the boss of that. Like you start off, you're a beginner. You play like 3 bosses in the beginner tier, and then once you beat the final boss in the beginner tier, then you move on to novice, and then you do it all again. You play against 3 other bosses, and then you progress, and etc. 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 You can unlock caddies, you unlock new clothes, new golf, uh, golf sets and everything. And the only thing maybe that is a little uh, off-putting about this game is that you unlock a new area to play every time you beat 3 bosses. So you're always like when you start off, you're always playing on the same court, you're always playing on the same course rather every every time you play, and then you have like two courses. Once you move up, then three, then four, then it goes up and up from there. But when you start off, it's always the same course or always the same two, and it kind of gets repetitive when you first play. But once you get a little further into the game and you have your choice of different golf courses and different modifiers, like you can have uh, holes that suck in your ball, others that pull it out, or bigger holes, smaller holes, all sorts of modifiers on the course that make it either easier or harder for you to play. So I got pretty good at that game once I got the hang of it, um, and played a pretty good chunk uh, of it. I probably put 15 to 20 hours into that game and got to the pro level, where I was completely unable to beat the final boss of that level. I could not beat the final boss. Like the first bosses you play against are pushovers. Like it's really easy to beat them. And once you get higher and higher in the levels, once I reached pro and I got to the final boss of pro, I could not beat that boss at all. Like I could do the best shots that I could, she would still beat my ass easily. I was like, okay, well, I need to go back and practice more and play more and, get higher, better golf clubs and better, balls that I can play with and everything. So, yeah, I mean, it's very easy to start, but once you get higher in the levels, it's very challenging and it becomes a real game of golf. Yeah, really have to know your golf course, know where you're playing the ball, know where it's going to land, to get the good golf club to know where you're going and everything. So at first it's just play and have fun, but after that it gets really complicated and really tough as you progress through it. So that's cool, I guess, but it kind of was the point when I was like, okay, I kind of don't want to play this anymore. So it's getting a little bit too complicated, a little bit too hard. But it's still the time that I put into it and the time that I played it, I really loved it. So I'm always up for a good game of golf, as I said. So uh, everybody's golf number eight. I never played online, by the way, but there's some online that you can play with people everywhere around the world, where you have to run to the hole and play your shot, and then run to the other hole and play the other shot and stuff like that. So that seems cool. I never tried it online at all, but that seems like something that would be cool. But yeah, I if you want a good golf game that's quirky, funny, and has a couple of good little characters and stuff, everybody's golf. You should check it out. It's my number eight of this year. So
Yeah, I know the when we did a podcast last time you talked, I think it was the last episode or one before, you talked about it and you kind of sort of wanted me to get
yeah,
it, so I did and didn't. I haven't got it just yet though. I don't know if it was on. I don't know if it was on sale.
no, it
Anymore,
wasn't on sale.
or
I
not now.
checked, and it's pretty much like it's a how can I say it's one of those games that never goes on sale. Like the game that
But it's not like full price now. I think it's like
yeah,
almost
it's like
thirty
it's
pound. I
thirty
think. Yeah.
dollars or something like that. So
Yeah, it's not like one of those like completely full price
hmm
games now. Yeah. Looking at actually, one did come out in the PS3. Came out in 2008.
in North America. Oh,
Yep.
really? Okay.
And then there was another one that came out in the Vita. It was the one that did come out in the Vita, but it also I think came out in the PS3 as
Okay.
well.
I probably missed that.
Um,
Okay.
but yeah, it was like 2008 though. That one came
Yeah,
out.
that's almost 10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I highly recommend if you like golf a little bit and yeah, like if you like having fun playing golf. Like it's not the golf club, which is more serious golfing, you know. This is more quirky, more accessible golf, I guess you could say. So, yeah, highly recommend it if you want to give it a shot. It's a good game.
Okie dokie. I'll have to get it
Yeah.
sometime. Okay, my number 8 is a game that I got in August, and I was very, very interested in playing though because it's by a developer that I've pretty much liked all their previous
Mm-hmm.
games that I've played. Ninja Theory.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Um, I liked Heavenly
Mm-hmm.
Sword. I very much liked Enslaved, and I pretty much loved DMC Devil May Cry, despite the fact that that game got a lot of feedback, a lot of
But it was a
backlash,
great game.
um,
So.
just certain reasons, because it was wasn't done by the same team that did the original Devil May Cry
Mm-hmm.
games. But I think, to be honest, I think it's the best one since the
Yep.
first one. But that's just my opinion. And they went in a sort of different route here, in that this is they've made this described as a quote unquote independent AAA game where they pretty much published it themselves and developed it themselves. They didn't have any big backers now. They didn't have Sony behind it, or big publisher like Activision or EA or anything like that now. And it's Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. And it's this game that's been showing on and off for the last several years. I think it was first shown in 2015, I believe. So it was, and so they actually been showing sort of the development of this game on their on their YouTube channel, and I watched some bits and bobs of it over the course of the development now, showing how the motion capture's been done, how the voice acting and stuff like that's been done, and how the certain visuals and stuff like that's been done now. And this is basically a story about Senua, who is the main character, on this sort of journey to sort of help. She's on this journey to sort of try to help this journey to resurrect her lover Dylan from the goddess Hela, and it's kind of a Viking sort of. It's set in the 8th century now, so it's kind of kind of scan north, a kind of Viking kind of it's not exactly Viking now, but that Norse.
Yeah, the Norse.
Set in Norse, it's Norseman, it's
Valhalla and
kind of set
Ragnarok and all that,
and stuff like that. Yeah, it's that setting, so it is, and as you say, she's on this journey. So she is to resurrect her dead lover from the goddess Hela, and she believes she's suffered a curse, and she's hearing stuff, and she's hearing voices in her head.
Is there a female Randy Orton?
And that's kind of the whole thing about this game, though, is that that's where Ninja Theory is kind of going with, because they wanted to try to make this game to sort of go up on about mental mental illness now, where people they want to try to, because that's the whole thing that they want to do with here, with the whole mental problems and psychosis is not there, and that's the sort of thing with this game is go around Senua, and all of a sudden you're hearing voices in your head, and the thing is I never tend to, I don't know about you, do you tend to wear headphones when you're playing games?
If the what? You could.
Do you tend to wear headphones when you're playing games?
No, I do. I bought headphones for my PS4. Yeah, so I always.
But do you tend to play?
Yeah, well, you told me to
games?
play this game with headphones, and they
Yeah,
do
but like
warn
I said,
you
do you
to
do
do that.
Yeah, but do you do it outside of this game?
Now I do, but I didn't used to before. No.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty much like you say from the get go. It's play this game with headphones, and I never really tend to play games with headphones, except if I'm playing online yourself, so I can put the headphones on I'm talking to you like I am now. But usually I don't. But I did with this game, and it's just very well done though. It's just so binaural though, you just hear voices left and right though. So you do, and it's basically these voices in their head hearing us. What's she doing? What's what's wrong with her? She's hearing this, and then all
She'll never make it. She's not gonna make it.
She's not gonna make it. She's gonna lose it, and all this stuff here.
Yeah.
And it's just I love the whole presentation of this game. I just think it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
though.
that's for
Like,
sure.
the actual environments you go through are not very much different. They don't change a whole lot now, except for like one area later on. Like it's very much different to the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But most of the other in the areas in the game do look kind of similar. But it's to me, it's more about the journey you go through with Senua, and like you go through you come across these different parts of the game, and you see like a character, and it's like actual MFE. It's like full motion. It's like actual proper human. Now you see it's like certainly certain areas in the actual environment now, and you hear like them talking. It's like where it's like her lover Dylan like talking to her, or if it's like her father or like her mother
Her
or
friend,
something, or like other friend and stuff like that. Though you hear like you come across these different characters. It's like not a whole lot of different characters. Like in action, like you don't come across another proper character, except for like the enemies and stuff like that and bosses. But in terms of actual you don't come across another NPC character except through these sort of MFA sequences now. And I just love the whole thing though, and like the story is just sort of I like the story is just all about Senua and her journey to rest thing, but there's like certain roadblocks along the way though. It's like she believes she has this curse, and there's this whole thing when this game came out, that this whole controversy per se, where whatever time you die, I think it's our left or right arm. I forget what arm it is.
I think it's right arm. I think.
Yeah, like every time she dies, her arm gets a bit more rot on her, and people speculating when this game came out assumed that what happens if her arm goes right up to her? I think it's like
goes to her head.
Her arm, and it goes to her head and kills her. Does that mean you're gonna have to start the entire game again? Like people seemed when this game came out, that was like
that's what I was wondering actually.
Yeah, that was the whole hubbub about this game. It's like if you die, do you have to go back to the start of the game? But no, and then those kind of rumors kind of got put to rest. Then it's like no, it's not the case. So, and it's a shame because I would have liked it if they actually went with it though. That thing though, instead of like kind of teasing about it.
But people wouldn't have liked that at all.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't have liked it though. But I would have liked it if they took that risk rather than just say, nah, it's just actually sort of cosmetic though. It doesn't really matter how many times you die now. There is like puzzles in this game though, but they're not particularly hard. It's just to do with like you see these symbols in these certain areas. It's like there's like this like cross or like this like little wee symbol, and you sort of have to walk around this area and match.
I got stuck at one point. The one that there's like a ton of them everywhere, and you have to go through 3 different portals or something like that to take them off. I got stuck at that point, but I figured it out after a while. So yeah.
Yeah, again, that's exactly it's like these puzzle things. You have to look around and find the actual proper environmental sort of puzzle, you can say, and focus on it. There's that's it there now, and then opens up like the sort of next entrance or something. Now some of them there's only like the one, and there's like a few of them, like there's like a couple you have to do, and then you can enter to the next area though. And there's a few bosses in this game. I actually like them. They're pretty cool to fight. Like the combat, like in terms of combat, this is probably the most simple they've ever done. But probably next to Enslaved like that. But this is probably the most simple in terms of their games. In terms of the combat though, it's not like very much. It's pretty simple. Because all you do is like hit slash. You can do dodge or parry attacks when like an enemy's coming ground. Just try to hit at the right time. Just like just bounces off, and then you can like attack the enemies then. But it's just not that difficult though. There is a thing as well. There is a setting which I like as well. Like if it actually does become too hard for you, it actually automatically reduces the difficulty. if you have it set to that, which I very
Yeah,
much
that's what I
like.
did. Yeah,
Um, um, but that guy didn't really die a whole lot in this game
I
now.
died, I think,
Like he
three
died
times,
maybe,
maybe.
yeah, died a few times now. And you finished this game,
Yep.
didn't you? Now I'm going to ask you something. See, at the end of the game,
hmm
how long did you go before you realized, oh, I'm supposed to actually die here?
Well, after a while, when I saw that they kept coming constantly, I was like, okay, I probably have to bite it here or something. And I
Yeah,
stopped
because
fighting.
I kept going, I kept going and going and going, and like,
Yeah,
oh,
I fought maybe for, I would say maybe 4 or 5 minutes. I was like, okay,
I probably went long.
this is something's going on here. I have to die or something. And I just like didn't fight back and just let them kill me at that point. So
Okay, yeah, that's yeah, that was the thing as well. Yeah, um, oh, there's another guy like Droof. He's the one. He's
yeah,
kind of sort of the main sort of character alongside Senua, who tells you like these different things, and also there's these certain different sort of, I don't know exactly how to say them. Like there's certain like tablet things or something. Like you go, yeah, it's like these little wee
they
tablets, and
tell
they
the
have these
story
different
there.
symbols of
The
them. Yeah, they tell the story of the
yeah,
Norsemen. So they do, and I think I like, because I activated every single one because I was interested in that. There,
yeah,
so
me
it
too. I
was
went around and
to learn the whole story of the Norsemen and like different like gods and stuff like that. They're just very interesting, you
hmm
know. And yeah, I just very much enjoyed this game. I just think they did a great job though, and I think they dealt with the sensitive matter with the whole thing though, because that's the thing. It's not like like this and like they actually did go either way to discuss it with like mental health experts and
yeah,
people who actually suffer from like psychosis and stuff like that. Like voices in their head and
yeah,
stuff like that. Like I think it was well done though, and it just definitely it was definitely memorable for me, and that's why it sort of hit a mark for me though, and like um I definitely enjoyed this game. It's not a very long game. It's like 7 hours or
yeah,
so, 6 7 hours. But it's definitely a
which is
journey
fine.
worth experiencing.
hmm
Like I probably wouldn't play through it again, but I very much enjoyed the journey and the story with Senua. And like I said, I think she did a fantastic job. Like it's just like she won the
The Game of
best
War.
performance at
Yeah,
the Game Awards, Mrs. Jurgens, and I'm just very much glad because I was just so happy because she
yeah,
did such a
she was really
she's
good.
like she's not actually an actress, she's the video
Yeah,
editor, so
yeah,
she was. And I was just kind of funny as well, considering the fact she got the award from Andy Serkis, who was in the first Ninja Theory
yeah.
game. He was the antagonist
hmm
in Heavenly Sword. I just thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
So yeah, I really enjoyed Hellblade. So that's my number 8.
yeah. It's in my honorable mentions. I liked it. I liked the story. I liked the performance and like everything, the surroundings and the way they deal with all the problems and everything. I just couldn't get into the combat. Combat I thought was not horrible, but I didn't really enjoy it a whole lot. And the puzzle aspect of it is eh, it's kind of
Yeah, it's like I just wish there was more to the puzzles, so
yeah,
rather than just find these like things. I wish there was a bit more other than just like, okay, just have to walk around here and find the right match for this symbol now to get to the next area. That was pretty much what there was. Like I wish there was just maybe something though, but like I said, I still enjoyed the journey
yeah.
there.
The journey's
Like if
good.
this game was like twice as long or something, I would be like I probably would have gotten a bit
Tired of it.
burnt out on
hmm
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good game for sure. So yeah. So my number 7, we're up to 7 already. Is
Yep.
one of 2 multiplayer games on my top 10. It's a game that I played a huge chunk of during the summer, and I tried to get you guys to play, but you didn't play. Well, Derek can't because he doesn't have a system, but you didn't get the game. It's Splatoon 2. which
I got Splatoon 2. I just never played enough of it.
you got. Oh yeah, that's right. You got the game. Yeah, that's right. You didn't play a whole lot.
No.
I played a ton with my nephew.
Kind of. It's just one of those games. It's actually on my honorable mentions though, but because I enjoy what I played of it though, but I just didn't play a whole lot of it though compared to like the first game.
Yeah.
Like
When I got this game, I played a ton of Splatoon 2. I was playing it every night, like every time I had a couple of minutes to play it, I was playing Splatoon 2 with my nephew or other people online, and really, really enjoying the whole thing. Got into a couple of Splatfests. I actually did the turf war more than the other types of games that I didn't really enjoy a whole lot. But yeah, I did a lot of turf war. Really, really got strongly into that game, and then at one point I just fell off completely. Like at one point it was like the thing that made me fall off completely of this is that it's always the same maps. Like they didn't add new maps into the game, and it's always a choice. Like it's always alternates between two maps for at least an hour or two. It's always the same two maps.
that's the one thing I didn't like about it in the first game either. That was pretty much the thing. It's like, oh, okay. Well, the thing is, when the first game came out, I think there was only like maybe 5 or 6 maps when the game came out, and then like they added new maps like along the way though. But yeah, it was the same thing in the first game. With this one, like it's just like, oh, just 2 maps, and you like the matches are not that long; they're like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So they are, and it's like, okay, you're just gonna do these maps numerous times over the course of an hour. It's like just get to the point. It's like I just wish they just just had all the maps.
Yeah, just had
every
every map in there and just alternate between the.
Yeah, alternate them between them. Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes you would play and you get like the same map over and over again for like 4 or 5 games, consecutive games, and when you're like, okay, well,
yeah,
can we change?
That's the case as well.
So yeah, I don't know. It's I really loved the parts that I played of it. I played a ton of it for a pretty long while. I'd say probably 3 or 4 weeks. I would play a bunch of it, and then just.
Did you ever play the single player?
Nope, never touched it. Never touched the single player. I heard it's pretty good.
I never touched it. I never touched in the Splatoon 2, but I did play some of it in the first game, and it's quite good.
Like I heard it's pretty good, but I never tried it. But yeah, I did enjoy what I played of Splatoon 2. Unlocked a bunch of clothes and guns, and my favorite is the Splat Dualies. Like pretty much everybody who plays this game, it's pretty much their favorite weapons. So yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about this. It's pretty your basic Splatoon game. A lot of people love this game to death. Like they're still playing it daily. I don't think I could go back to it and play some. Like people are probably very good at it now. I'd probably get destroyed. But yeah, it was fun playing for the little while that I played it. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know if there's new maps out now for.
I think there is probably new apps that they've added. Like I think we'll probably have added a few. Like I think they've added some. Like they were in the first game.
Okay. I might go back.
I know they're still doing like Splatfests and that.
Yeah, I know they're doing that. I'll probably go back. Probably give it a shot a little bit. Play a little bit of Splatoon 2. Give it a little shot. But yeah, it's really good. I enjoyed what I played of it. So yeah, I guess it's my. Oh, it's there's the other mode where you catch the it's a little bit like a horde mode. Salmon Rush, yeah.
Or Salmon Run. Salmon Run, I think.
Salmon Run, yeah. I played a little bit of that. That's cool. That's fun. That's a fun little thing to do.
I never played it now, so I didn't know, but I would have liked it.
I think that's better than the core game a little bit, like because it's more of a objective based thing, So
yeah. And also, it's the thing as well. It's not available all the time either, though. It's only available at certain points as well, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
A lot of people weren't happy with that. Now, like, why can't it just be available all the time?
Yeah, it's only certain points, and you need to go into a room and get some people into the room and play with those people from there. So like it's not like the core game, which is go in and play. You have to organize your thing and then go in and play, and yeah, it's a little bit weird the way they did it, but it's a good mode. It's a good little addition to that game. So yeah, Splatoon 2, my number 7 of the year. So there you go. What's your number 7?
Okie dokie. My number 7 is a game that it's kind of like, I'll say it's probably a bit of a hit. I think it was a big game. It was probably one of the big games that I don't think I saw coming. That in terms of how popular it would have been.
Surprise.
How, yeah, surprise. It was one of the biggest surprises of the year in terms of how much people loved
Okay.
it. But considering the fact the first one's a cult classic. Which it came out back in 2010, the first one, and I played the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've played the first playthrough of the first one. I think that probably gives you an indication what this game is. I'll just basically say it's Nier Automata. That is my number 7. So
Okay.
it is. The first one, like the first Nier, came out in 2010, and I played the first, went through the first ending in that game. And very much like with Nier, and I think most of Yoko Taro's other games, you have to play through the game several times to sort of get the full story, the full gist of what's going on and stuff like that. And the thing was, I actually only played through the first ending back in 2010, and then I played through the other endings of Nier this year. Or last year, and then before I moved on to Nier Automata, so I experienced that because there is certain connections with the first game.
Mm-hmm.
This takes place, I think it's 2,000 years or 10,000 years or something after the events of
Wow. Okay.
Nier. So it's several,
way
it's
into the
like
future.
Yeah. It's like it's a lot of it's a post-apocalypse. It takes place after the game's fourth ending. That's the fourth ending of Nier, and say it's like it's a lot of years after. It's like I think it's 10,000 years after the events of Nier, and so it is. And this game is, like I said, and I played through those endings, and very much like Nier Automata. At the end as well, you have to delete your save to sort of get the, well, not in Nier Automata, but in Nier originally you had to actually delete your save to sort of get the last ending, and that actually was the case. Like you actually had to delete your save, and you see it all your save, all your progress gone just like that.
Mm-hmm.
To sort of it sort of ties with the story now, whereas you sort of delete yourself pretty much from existence, kind of in a way to save a certain character. So you do. And I said Nier Automata takes place 10,000 years, I believe, after the events of Nier, and you play as a few characters actually, but first of all you play as 2B, who is this android, and alongside another character called 9S. You pretty much go around and have to try to sort of get rid of these machines. So you do, and you help the local resistance. So you do, and go down this world, this post-apocalyptic world, and you go around and try to get rid of the machines. But then you realize some of these machines sort of have they kind of have feelings and that
Personalities,
and stuff like that, personalities and stuff like that. Now, yeah, and you kind of some of the times they feel like kind of. Bad, you kind of feel bad. Like some of them have sort of personalities. They're actually are the sentient? Do they have feelings and stuff like that? There's this sort of whole sort of philosophical way of things, though. And I don't want to get too much into the story now because I think it's just a story worth playing through.
Yeah, I really want to play this game.
It's a very interesting story, though, and it deals with deals with kind of does the androids they are they sentient and stuff like that, and pacifism and stuff like that, and war and things like that now. And it's just a very, very really interesting game to play through. Like I said, I don't want to spoil it too much. Like there is a lot of twists and turns along the way. And it is a game you have to play through several times. Like I mentioned before, like the first ending you play as 2B, and then through the second playthrough you play as 9S. Like 9S is practically with you the entire way through the first playthrough, except for a couple of occasions. And then in the second playthrough you play as 9S, but you go through his you play through his side of things. So you do. So there's a few areas that you play through in his that you didn't in 2B's. And then in the third playthrough, there's a completely different character you play as, and then certain events happen there. And then that's the last sort of proper full playthrough you play through the game then. And then there's two endings you choose from that playthrough. Like there's ending C, there's ending D, and then you have to do other things, and then you get the final ending, ending E, which is quite interesting indeed. And it got the best secret / moment in the Jam Bomb thing, so it does, and I was pretty happy with that because it's just such a very cool moment indeed. So there is. I'm basically going to say that here now as well. The soundtrack in this game is absolutely incredible. It is probably my favorite soundtrack last year. So it was. It's just absolutely just well done. But I absolutely loved the soundtrack in the first game as well. That was like, I wasn't a huge fan of the first game when I played through it back in 2010. Like I thought, story's interesting, gameplay is not that great, but the soundtrack was the one thing out of that game that I absolutely adored, and it was the best part of the game for me. And in certain aspects, it is with here as well. Just certain, especially in certain moments of this game, it just fits what's happening on screen so well. It just it's just so kind of emotional in spots and out there as well, and just some of it's kind of it's just very different types of music as well. It's not just like your typical JRPG fare, as or like Abby like to say. I couldn't disagree more with it though. It's just an absolutely beautiful soundtrack though. I love the ending theme. It's called Weight of the World, and there's actually several different versions of it. And the cool thing about the last Route E, like the last sort of proper ending of the game, is that you go through it and then you sort of hear all the sort of different versions of that song together. So you do, and as you go through that ending. So you do, which is, it just sort of culminates. It's like, I've been on this journey with these different characters, and this sort of just ends here now, and this sort of kind of climax. So it is. It's just pretty cool. The gameplay it's done by Platinum. So once I heard this was done by Platinum, I was immediately on board because I am
Platinum's
a
A team, not
games.
its B team. Because they do have an A team and a B team over there, seemingly.
Yeah, pretty much. You could say like their B team is like done big games like The Legend of Korra and that Turtles game, which is pretty much the only Transformers. Well, that was actually a pretty good game. No, I actually enjoyed it.
But I mean, it's not the A team that did that.
Yeah, it's not like the ones that did Bayonetta or Metal Gear Solid Rise. I don't know, Metal Gear Rising. I don't know if that was the A team or B team now. Could be. But like oh jeez, what was I forget what it was at now.
It was Platinum, so you were immediately on board.
Yeah, I was Platinum on. Yeah, I was definitely on board. Those, as I love Platinum games, so do. Like, not all our games have been great now. Like I said, Korra was part of the, Turtles is the only game in the actual Platinum, besides one that came out in the DS years ago, that I've not played. I was
that turtle game looks bad.
Yeah, I heard it was really bad. Shout out to Scalebound, which will never see the light of day now.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed when I heard that though. It was actually near around this time once last year. It's close to it actually. since it was actually cancelled. It's too
Yep.
bad. So you're gonna expect at least like a good combat system, and a lot of people weren't fussed on the combat in this game. It's like, it's not great though. I actually very much enjoyed it. It's not to the greatness of sort of like Bayonetta now, but I very much enjoyed it though for what it was. Like, you basically, it's like a hack and slash, of course, but you do have like these little pods with you though, and you can equip certain little abilities. Whereas like, okay, equip different chips, so you find across this like bleak world, and some of them are like they do more damage. That raise your attack. Other ones like regenerate your health and stuff like that. Now, other ones give you more space because we have a certain number of spaces on the actual your pod the chip, so because some of them actually, like one of them might be, this takes up 5 slots, and while this other one might take up 11 slots, because there's like attack +3 or attack +5, and also you can sort of fuse stuff with, like join them together and like fuse them up to make other ones as well and stuff like that there. And that's sort of where the gameplay works. And you go along and fight the different like androids and bosses and stuff like that, so you do robots and etc. And there is a sort of there's a character in the game called Pascal who's been talked about a lot on the Giant Bomb, though he's one of these robots. You come across him in this village though, he's like very pacifist though, he doesn't want to fight though, and then there is, like I said, there is a point in the game he basically loses it and has to fight though, and it's just kind of a sad thing to see. Like there's these antagonists in the game called Adam and Eve, which is like the thing, Adam and Eve, the first humans,
first robots,
and and you fight them, so you do. And actually the second playthrough, the final boss in it is actually the first time in the game I actually died, and I was really annoyed when it died. I was like, fuck's sake, I want to go through this entire game without dying. And that was the first time I died in the entire playthrough, and then I died a few times after that as well though. But it's not a necessarily difficult game here though, but I think it's just a very interesting game to play though. Not everyone loved it. Like, I've seen people on my Twitter that didn't very much care for this game, but there's other people that absolutely love it though. It's just one of those kind of love it or hate it games, I guess. Like, I very much enjoyed a lot of it though. It's just a fantastic game, a beautiful soundtrack, and like a really interesting story. And like I said, like if I don't want to talk about too much though, because I just want people to experience it though. And there is, like I said, there is connections to the previous one. Like, Emil is a character who's in from the original there, and there's two characters from the Resistance that are named after two characters from there as well.
Okay.
Popla and what they're called? Popla and Devla, I think they are.
Okay.
So they are. Which, if you played the first game, then you would sort of know. So you would. But other than that, it's just a really great game. And that's what I think of it.
Cool.
So,
I want to play that game for sure. Somewhere down the line.
Yeah, I know Derek wants to play it as well, though. But it's just surprising. I never went on sale during the holiday.
Yeah.
Sale, so
Never.
I didn't. It's just weird. It was on sale there like a few weeks beforehand. But then it didn't go on sale, and also I think the lowest it's gone is like 25% off. So hopefully when it goes on sale again, it's like 50% off, because it's been out a year now, like coming up a year in March now. Like, this came out a few weeks after Horizon and Zelda.
Yeah.
So hopefully it will go down.
I hope so.
It's definitely I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right. So my number 6 is a game that another multiplayer game that we all played, all three of us together. The reason it's so high on my list is because I really enjoy playing it with you guys, and all the fun that we had doing the story and just doing other stuff in the game is Destiny 2 is my number 6. A lot of people not fussed on this game a whole lot, but I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing Destiny 2 with you guys through the story. Played with a couple of people at work through the story again, and doing some missions here and there, and like a couple of strikes and a couple of things here and there. We never did the big what is it called again? The raid.
No, we never got around.
Haven't
to
gotten
doing that,
around
though.
to
But
do it.
basically, I like I talked to you about it though on the podcast previously, where I tried it with a few sort of random teams and went nowhere. I was like, yep, I'm not going to do this again until I can get you guys though. But like I was right
At the height of Destiny 2.
No, I was but I was sort of around the point where I was getting it's kind of going to dropping out of the game anyway though, because it was just all our games I want to play.
Yeah, that's another game that you play a bunch when it comes out, and you're really into it, and you play a ton of it, and then all of a sudden you completely stop playing for no reason whatsoever. But
yeah, it just seems to be one of those games that seemed the people really liked though when it came out, and then all of a sudden a few months after, it just seems to be people sort of lash on it though for certain reasons. I guess it's just like seem to hate it all of a sudden.
yep.
This kind of just reminded me of Bioshock Infinite in a way, because I remember people loving that game when it came out, and all of a sudden a few months later it just seemed to be just attacked on.
Yeah, but Infinite's great. I don't know why people attack that game, but yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, Destiny 2 is more Destiny. That's pretty much what you'd expect from that game. There's still loot, and there's still guns, and there's still, leveling up, and there's still, getting your, it's not your light now. What is it called again? It's the power level.
I believe
Yeah.
it is now.
Getting your power level to the highest level.
But it is pretty much just light still anyway.
Yeah.
Really, at the end of the day.
So getting your power level to the highest that you can, doing all sorts of stuff, doing the Crucible, going around doing like missions of the day, which is cool. Going doing a couple of things here and there, and I think it's a really well-made game. It's better than the first one for sure. Story's way more detailed and better than the first one was. It's still not fantastic as a story, but it's very cookie cutter story, but it's better than the first one. It's still
It serves its
serviceable.
purpose.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I enjoyed the time that I played with you guys and with my friends from work and stuff like that. Just going around and just having fun and just doing stuff and just laughing. I played with some friends from work, and this guy could not do the platforming to save his life. Like, he could not jump from one place to another, and he kept dying. And I never laughed so hard in my life in this game. It's just fucking, he kept falling off constantly all the time. And it was just me and the other guy were
I was
crying.
going to make a joke there. I was just basically going to make a joke there. Is this quote unquote guy you playing?
No, it wasn't me.
Chance?
It wasn't me this time. I wasn't falling off all the time. It was another guy from work. He just kept falling off, and we were laughing our asses off, and he was just, come on, stop it, help me, do something. We were just fucking laughing at him, going nuts. But yeah, it's a great game to play together, with people, with friends, and just go around and do stuff and enjoy it. And I can't wait for the real DLC to come out, like the real like the DLC that came out not too long ago. Apparently it's not worth getting into until the next one comes out. Like, it's just really short and nothing really great about it, I heard. People saying it's not that great. And the next DLC is going to be better, more story stuff, more I think there's going to be a raid added to it also, so more stuff to do, so probably wait until that comes out. Don't know if Derek's going to still be playing, or if you're going to be wanting to go back in, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I kind of dropped off Destiny 2 a lot quicker than I thought I would, to
Yeah.
be honest. I thought I would play it a lot longer. Like, I played it for like a few weeks though, and I was like, yeah, this is great. I really enjoyed it though, but I just kind of dropped off it though. It was like, kind of played everything I want to. Like the last sort of hurdle I was in that game before, I wanted to do the raid though, but it's like, again, play with randoms, just couldn't get anywhere with it
Yeah.
though. Couldn't get, like, you can't get a team up. We don't have enough people to set up a team, and I didn't want to spend 20 hours like the Giant Bomb team did, supposedly doing that one race. Like, screw
Yeah,
that.
no. I'm not gonna do that for sure. No.
Especially you're talking 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours to do that first part.
To get to the save, I think. So.
Yeah, like they did that, the part where you warp to the fight and you have to chase, you grab the orb and go through the different holes. That took 5-6 hours. I was like, yeah, not bother with that.
Yeah, I don't really want to do that, but maybe if we can get a couple of good players together that know what they're doing, maybe it'll be more fun.
Or you could just do it a year from now, like we did with the Fault of Glass.
Yeah. A year from now, when the first game. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, still.
But it's still a great game though. It's not on my top 10s in my honorable mentions, so it is. I liked it though, but I kind of dropped off it quicker than I thought I would though, and just didn't quite hit the. I was gonna say, because I kind of knew what to expect though, because I played all of the games. I played Destiny in its different iterations. I played the Taken King, I played Rise of Iron.
It's still Destiny,
so
it's still.
It has its differences. It has the whole lost sectors and stuff like that now. But at the end of the day, it's still Destiny. It's still one of the best playing shooters out
It's
there, in my
fantastic,
opinion.
For sure.
Too bad if the gameplay of Wolfenstein had that now, then
I'd still be playing probably not still playing it, but I would play it.
You'd be finished. You
until the end. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still, the gameplay is top notch. There's no reproach to be made there. It's really good, top notch gameplay. We'll wait until the next DLC. Maybe get back into it. I don't know. But yeah, so Destiny 2 is my number 6 of the year. What about you?
I don't know, I might do the same thing, because when they released the first 2 DLC packs from the first Destiny, I didn't bother getting them though, and I just waited till the Taken King came out and got the Legendary Edition. Which had all that stuff in together, and it was because I was better off getting them all now, because it would have been we've gotten them cheaper this way. I got them cheaper this way than getting them all separately anyway.
Yeah.
So
might do that also.
Just have to wait and see.
Might do that also.
Yeah, because I've no rush to go back to Destiny at the moment.
No, me neither.
Doesn't seem to people seem to be dropping off that game pretty quickly, and people just seem to hate on it though, because of the way the whole.
Not a lot of people playing it.
Avarice.
All my friends that played it religiously every day, completely stopped playing it and playing different stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really not like Overwatch. So
yeah,
it's kind of different. Well, yeah. So what's your number 6?
Okay, my number 6, and we'll go on a break after this. So we'll just take a bit of a break. My number 6 is a Kickstarter game. So it is. It's the first of 2 Kickstarter games. I believe the other one that we'll talk about, it was also a Kickstarter game. I actually didn't know this game existed until earlier last year though. I just came across it. I forget if it just came across it on the Steam page or just somewhere online. No, I just came across this game and I looked at the trailer of it, I believe. And I pretty much was very much interested in seeing what this game was all about, because I loved the art style to it. It was, this is a Metroidvania game. This is right up my alley, and the art style to it is a that's sold on me as well, and that is Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
Another game that sort of seemed to none that came out. It's not a big, big hit like Neo Automata now, though. But it's a game that a lot of people quite like.
Is it like Shovel Knight? Because no, okay.
No, it's not like Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight is very much old school Mega Man / DuckTales kind of thing. But this is more like a Metroidvania game. Open area. You can't access certain areas until you get these certain abilities and stuff like that. Now it's pretty much what this. The interesting thing about Hollow Knight is it is like a Metroidvania game, but actually shares some elements from Dark Souls, and not just because it's like hard, it's hard as hell now. It's not that case now, but it does share a few elements though. Where one of them is like, of course, if you die, all like your currency, you drop. So it is like all your stuff you drop, and it's like this little wee black kind of soul thing appears in that area you died in now, or like close to where you died, and then you go back to that area, and you have to kill like this wee little soul thing. So you do, to get your like currency or whatever it is back. That's like the one element from Souls. Another element is kind of like the way the story's told. I could not tell you about the story though, but the way the story's told, it's through its like characters you come across, and like the items description and like all that stuff though, because that's the way like the Souls games are told. It's through its item, the lords through its item descriptions and like some of the characters you come across, and that's kind of sort of the same thing in this here now. And there's certain like, very much as well, like in Souls, there's certain areas that you don't need to do in this game to get to finish the game. But if you want to get the sort of true ending to this game, the true quote unquote ending of this game, you have to go through this certain extra area of this game and do these different go jump over these hoops and obstacles and stuff like that and get this certain item, which I did. I looked it up though because I would not known otherwise how to do it, and I did that there. It was pretty much I pretty much did that. What this game is, as I say, it's just a simple sort of Metroidvania game, but it has this lovely, kind of lovely art style. It's kind of like animated. It's kind of sort of lovely, nice sort of dark, bleakish world. You play as this little like bug, and basically the world's like full of these bugs. Like you fight these like big slugs, or these like these like flies and worms and stuff like that there, and like you fight these big bosses where it's like a big mantis and stuff like that. It's this whole like insect kind of world, so it is, and it's like very dark and bleak though, so it is, and it's beautiful though to look at. Like even as like kind of dark and bleak though, it's just something beautiful in its bleakness, I guess, in a way you could say. And like the actual music in this game as well, it's not as memorable as Neo Automata now, but the music I actually quite liked. It just actually suited the environments well indeed though, and I very much enjoyed it though. Like I played like I just was so hooked on this game. I played it for about nearly 30 hours, so I did, and I got about 80% of the map done, or collectibles, so it did a lot of the game though, and I very much enjoyed it. Like I say, it has its bosses. Some of them are harder than others. The true final boss in this game was definitely the hardest boss in this game for me. Like the combat in the game is not that difficult, or just you use these swipes though, but you do you get these different abilities as well, much like you do in a certain Metroidvania game. You just get these abilities. You can shoot these projectiles and stuff like that. Some of them, you get more health. Like you go around these different areas of the thing, lock these secrets that give you extra health and more. These charms, I think they were called. I think they were called charms. I could be completely wrong. But these different collectibles you pick up, and there's like a variety of them you come across to the world. I really enjoy Metroidvania games. It's probably the best one I've played since Dust, that came out 5 years ago. So it came 6 years ago this year now. And I believe it's their first game as well. Team Cherry, I believe the name of the developer is that did this, and it's a game that only came out in the PC at the moment. I believe it's come to Switch, and this would definitely be a nice fit for the Switch game. Considering the fact, because a lot of the games tend to work very well. Like a lot of indie games at the moment are coming on the Switch and are doing very well. Like, did you hear about the news about Super Meat Boy?
No.
It's apparently it's sold practically nearly as much, or like close to when it came out on the 360, and that game came out in 2010.
Wow. Okay, that's good.
As it goes to show, like that game's just perfect. I think it did come out in the Vita as well, though. But like just because of the fact a lot of people really like the Switch, and it's just such a great console for indie games, and like that's why
you can bring it around and bring it with you, and
yeah.
That's good.
Their Geo, that's the name of the currency. And the Geo and the max amount of soul. Yeah, that's as well. Another thing as well. Actually, it's something like like original Dark Souls and Demon Souls. Like when you die as well, and you have to go back, you don't have your full health as well. So you have to go and kill the thing in order to get all your Geo, which is like the currency or whatever. And your full health back as well. But like I said, it's just a very cool game though, and very much love it. Definitely one of my favorite games of this year.
Okay.
Just definitely, like I said, Kickstarter game back in 2014.
Kickstarter games is doing well.
All right number. Yeah, it's like I said, it's the first of two games on my list.
Yep, I have one also in my top 5.
That's in the other one is also in my top 5. It was also a Kickstarter game,
Yep.
I believe. But this one I very much enjoyed, and I just came across it out of nowhere, and I'm very much glad I did, because it's just an awesome game. I very much enjoyed it. That's Hollow Knight. So anyway, folks, we're going to take a break here, and we'll return with our honorable mentions. A few games that we didn't get the time to play that we wish we did. 5 to 1, and our most anticipated of 2018. So stay tuned.
Okay.